Hey, it's week 4, Never Settle Club. How are you guys doing? Man, everybody is doing great in the Facebook group. Just keep it going. Keep supporting each other. Keep pushing for Never Settle Club and just really keep helping uplift everybody, man. This is really great. Week 4, I'm excited about because this is the week where you actually start to really take some concrete action. So week 4's theme and our hashtag, fail fast. Like, get it done quick. We're taught at a very young age, we're taught don't fail, always succeed, always win, you can't lose. What we're not taught is how do you quickly learn from failure. And we're also not taught that it's good to try and it not work out. Like, that's a great thing to happen when you can recognize it and learn from it. So that's why this week is fail fast. Over the past few weeks, many of you have been doing a lot of reassessment. You've been doing a lot of work about what you really want to do, what you really want to go after, and now what can you actually monetize. So you have a lot of decisions to make. So some of you may know that it's just this one thing that you're going to do, and you're lasering in on that one passion and a couple things to monetize it, and you're going in. Others may still have several passions with several ways to monetize, and you're still trying to figure out what's the right one for you. The point is, no matter which part of the spectrum you're on, either way, you need to fail fast trying those monetization models for you. In order to do that, because it is a mindset shift, because we are taught like not to fail. So first and foremost, it's okay to fail. Like, accept it. Don't be intimidated. Don't be scared. Don't feel isolated. Don't feel like you're on your own. If you have dream killers that are surrounding you, that are giving you negative energy, move away from them. Do whatever you got to do to get with positive people and lean more on the group, because now is the time where pain might set in because you've worked hard to get to this point, and then you're going to try some things and they may not seem to work right away right off the bat. They don't come together. And that's something that happens with failing fast. And so you have to be flexible, be open-minded, be able to iterate, and be able to accept some change and kind of flow with that a little bit if you feel like you're being knocked around. The point is, as long as you're making some type of progress, even if it's small, even if it's minuscule progress, I believe you should not totally pivot. Or if this is your first time hearing that term, like totally switch tracks or go in a totally different direction. I believe that as long as you're getting some progress, you should stick with it and don't pivot. However, if you're hitting a brick wall, and you're going to hit brick walls, the point is you can't just hit a brick wall and say, oh, I'm going to pivot right now. Like, this isn't working. No, you have to hit the brick wall, and then you have to creatively think, how do I go through it? Can I climb over it? Can I get around it? Does somebody have some explosive I can blow through this thing? Can I dig a hole and go under it? Like, you have to go through the process of really creatively thinking how you get through these walls. But if you hit a complete dead end, and you know honestly within yourself it's a complete dead end, that's when it's time to make the pivot. So now it's time for you to get organized. You have a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, but you have to put these things into some type of workflow, some type of system that's going to help you manage it all. So I recommend things like Basecamp for project management, where you can put your different projects, which are your different passions. So each passion is its own project. And then you could have your own to-do lists. You could share those to-do lists with others on your team. Or if it's just you, that's fine. You can put your dates and your milestones and your reminders. Like, everything can be in that. You can put other files as well with that project. If you want something that's a little bit maybe less heavy, or if Basecamp feels a little too much if you try it out, or pick any project management software for that matter if you have one that you really like. We use Basecamp. I also use Wunderlist. I love Wunderlist on my phone. It's a great app to organize all your to-do lists. So you can have several to-do lists. Those to-do lists should be your different passions if you have more than one. And then you can have your different tasks. And the good thing about Wunderlist, and I think this is important in general, when you're thinking about creating your to-do list, listen up, this is important. many of us put the end goal of what we want to accomplish as the to-do item. That's fine. The problem is we don't really think about the smaller steps. So I need you to think about the smaller steps, like the little bite-sized steps that are going to get you there. So, for example, right now we're in the midst of trying to launch a clothing line, an inspirational, positive clothing line. Wonder how that came about. So we're trying to launch this thing, but you just can't say, oh, you know what, I'm going to call some people up, we're going to start making this thing happen and do it. No, we have to think of the smaller steps. So before I even call a designer, why are we launching this line? What's it about? Okay, have we gone through a planning session? Like, have we actually had our planning session? All right, we did that? Okay, cool. What items came out of the planning session that we now have to go and do? Oh, now I need to find a designer? Okay, so what's involved in that process of me finding a designer? Oh, I need to actually schedule a few hours each day, maybe 2 hours a day for the next 3 days. I'm going to spend 6 hours on finding my designer. You start to get my point. Like, you have to really break down. You don't eat a sandwich in one bite. You do it in small bits. So break down those to-do lists very painfully. Break them down into very small steps. That way you'll feel some action. Okay, so now it's time to take a concrete step. The whole idea is, at this point, I need you to do one thing, just one step that you feel that you can do that's going to get you pumped, that's going to give you energy to kind of keep moving through with this. I know a lot of this can be overwhelming, so that's why I'm really emphasizing just doing one thing. Don't try to complete 5 or 10 things. If you got a lot of time on your hands and you can dedicate that, then by all means do it. But at a minimum, I need you to do one thing that's going to keep you excited, one concrete step. So let me give you some examples of what maybe that could be. So if you're further along in the process, or maybe you already have a business that's really starting to get established, or some of these things you may have already done or may not have done just yet. But they could be things like buying the website name, like buying your URL. It could be things like alerting a mentor or someone in your past that you've worked with before that should know that you're on this journey now. Maybe they're an expert in this area that you're in. And maybe there's someone that you look up to and they know that you've been talking about getting into this, but now you're actually doing it. So maybe now's a good time to send that person an email and tell them about the club you're in, the progress you're making, and what's happening. Maybe it's signing up at Moo. Go to moo.com and you just get some business cards. So you have something that you can start handing out to people so it starts that conversation. If you're still trying to figure yourself out, maybe it's immersing yourself around people that are in the passion that you want to do stuff in. So maybe that means going to like meetup.com. Pop right. I recommend this highly, even no matter what stage of the process you're in. Everyone should probably jump onto meetup.com and type in your passions as keywords and see what physical events are taking place in and around your area. So Meetup is a place online where you can find out about physical events that are happening in and around your area somewhere. You could also do things like subscribe to a magazine, go to the bookstore or go to Amazon and buy that book that's going to help give you some information and education about that area that you have a really big interest in. Go to lynda.com, lynda.com. It's great for like online classes and online training. So I've given you a lot of different ways that you can take at least one action. So this week's homework is to do that, but you have to share it. So take at least one action. If you can do more, that's great, but at least one this week that's going to keep you excited, keep you motivated, and let you feel some progress. And so do that for homework, and then post that up on the Facebook page, and everybody needs to support each other. So this is a big moment for a lot of folks. So if you're seasoned and you've already been there and done that, share some of your insight. Give people some of what you've gone through. Let's help each other avoid pitfalls and potholes that maybe some of us have already been through. That's the whole purpose. Like, this group has to uplift each other. All right, so let's push each other up. Let's get the homework done. And don't forget, if you get stuck, hook up with me Friday and we'll do the Spreecast and we'll do the live video Q&A and we'll get you all straight. All right. Heading into the home stretch. All right, get that homework done. Let's go. Fail fast.